Good morning, good morning. Today we're going to take a look at XRP, some Sigma coin, and a little bit of historical context with the Russell 2000. All right, so let's start with the 3-day. So here's our 3-day indicators, still just kind of humming along. We've had a big spike and then a pullback. Our indicator is still green. As of right now, there's no, it's getting close. It doesn't mean it still can't do a little nosedive and scoop off the ground here, but so far it's getting close. We'll see how this ends up closing. This doesn't close until the 25th, so we still have another day or so to play out this next 3-day before we maybe get a print of a red candle down here at the lows. But here's basically the takeaway for this. A reminder that you can get this access to this indicator applied to anything on TradingView. If you have a 0.2% supply of Sigma, you can get free access into the Discord, where we give updates and notifications of this indicator on many different items. So notice again, it gave us the indication that we needed to get out of XRP all the way back in August. Told us to get this run, fade that part, get this run right here. Same story now. So worst case, if we do flip red again, we may have some more downside. This would be how I would expect to see it, something along these lines, right? So we have like a impulse up off the lows, impulse up off the lows, and then just maybe some sideways chop before it gets re-accumulated and running. So worst case, if it does print this way, this is the profile that I expect it to run, something along these lines here, like this. So, all right, so that's how we've got our XRP long-term view at this moment in time. So today may be the day where we start reversing, and we'll take a look into the short time frames to look at this. So volatility has compressed massively, right? So we've got this, kind of compressed wave 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we have an ABC completion. And since then, we've set a higher low, and we've got some absorption happening here, but we're just not getting oomph, right? So there's limit buys, is my suspicion, that are stepping in and slowly accumulating XRP here at the shorter time frames. This 4-hour has printed a green dot, red dot overnight, so it's saying, hey, get out of the position. So we might have a wick down into the 70s, something into the 80s here. But so far, each of these candles has been absorbed. You can see these candles under the bottom here of somebody coming in and buying up the supply, right? So we'll see how this ends up playing here in the next 24 hours or so. So you could put a stop loss below, these levels here, or that one right there, grab some more. I currently have a long that I started right around this region. Currently upside down, should have probably exited right around here where my cost basis was. But for now, I'm just going to weather this a smidge and just going to see how this price action plays out, because we have ourselves a potential bullish deviation here. So we had the first breakdown, the 4-hour was super overdone. We had another breakdown, we had less momentum. This one got a little bit more momentum, but this guy's got less momentum again, yet we've been stepping down in price. So price go down through this whole region here, price go down, but momentum go up, which means that this is absorption and a bullish divergence that's playing out here. So eventually those play out to price go higher. And you can see that here reflected in, let's see, where is that? There it is. So right here, you can see the same setup where we had, let me see, where did that go? It's back over here somewhere. I've seen it before. Anyway, there's, oh, there we go. There's a bullish divergence or bearish divergence right here. It doesn't matter. Well, we'll just move on. But anyway, so there it is. Oh my gosh. So here's your bullish divergence manifesting again here. Price action go down. We then sideways accumulate and explode. And this was the same type of setup that we had right here back in the day. So, all right. So that's the 4-hour showing us that we're getting ready to do something. And man, oh man, are we ever. Liquidity to the upside. Big stack of liquidity down here at 86. And if we zoom in on the 48-hour time frame, I think it's just like on every single side. Yeah, there it is. So right around below us. So possible sweep to the downside is likely, and then maybe a reversal. And even the 24-hour has liquidity everywhere as well. Look at that. Oh my gosh. They could go up and then back down again. They could go down and then back up again. Just, they're going to be, everyone's losing money today. It looks like, just, are you quick enough to get out? So that's how they're going to play that. And with that, we've got our Sigma coin. Looks like we have a pretty well-established 5-wave to the upside is how I'm counting this at this point in time. And we would have just a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we would have, this does slightly cross here, so that's questionable on whether or not that's a full, it'd be like maybe a rising wedge, pattern that leads out of here. And then we do see this up down. That's probably our ABC. And so we can or maybe this is our ABC, but regardless, this is getting close to either a larger ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've done a AB right here. Maybe come back up and then we come back down, something like that. So there's some kind of setup here playing out for Sigma, which would show that maybe up is the next path, which could coincide with XRP. So liquidity to the upside, liquidity to downside, mass flopping all over the place is probably what today's price action is going to look like, coupled with the 4 hour showing a whole bunch of sideways bullish divergence playing out, but those could take a while on the 4 hour. And then lastly, our 3 day is still green, so we're just going to respect that until it doesn't stay green. And then from there, we're going to just watch this next candle here over the next 20, we have still 48 hours for this candle to close. So if we have a good spike up off of this, then that would definitely change and lock in this candle for us. So, all right, guys. So we'll check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.